From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max and on Buzz TV. Hope you had a great week out there, Jacksonville, believing, creating, hustling, getting it done, and having a good time while you're doing it. We've got a good time headed your way here on The Horse's Mouth. Sammy Kavaris is back here at the bar. We're joined by Donovan Darius, Double D, talking about his foundation, talking about the Super Bowl, Tony Baselli getting into the Hall of Fame, all that and more. We're even talking business with David Hopper from Audit Max. It's all headed your way this week right here on The Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV.
Feel a new level of comfort with underwear for men. Created for men with an active lifestyle and designed for sports, work, medical, and everyday wear. Underwear for Men has a special patented drawstring pouch which allows you to adjust the perfect custom fit around your manhood. It allows you the separation you need and the support you deserve. The drawstrings adjust to isolate and support. The mesh pouch cools and comforts. The tailored fit won't rubber chafe. A tagless plush waistband sized to fit a man's waist. And materials that are quick dry and moisture wicking. Underwear for Men is available in all your favorite styles and colors. In briefs, trunks, and 6-inch and 9-inch boxer briefs, and in your choice of cottony, extra cool, viscose, or polyester fabrics. Underwear for Men. Support your manhood.
All right, welcome back to The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV and, of course, at Tommy Max. My good friend Sammy the Bull Kavaris is here. What's up, Sam? Welcome back.
The Boo. Thank you.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good to see you. Good always to see you. The Super Bowl in Atlanta, number 53,
right.
all set.
And it used to mean that was the end of the football season.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, they used to play the Pro Bowl out there.
Afterwards.
Afterwards. Yeah. But football season never ends.
Yeah,
and that's on purpose.
True.
The NFL has done that. Because they want you to buy T-shirts in March.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Well, I tell you what, man, great championship games. I mean, so close down to the wire, both in overtime. Phenomenal, but
first time that's
comes
ever happened, right?
With controversy.
Yeah, no question.
About that?
You know, the previous
God
5 years, you know the home teams were 10-0.
Oh, wow.
In the championship
Yeah, I think I do
games.
that. Yeah.
And in that weekend, they were 0-2.
Right.
And certainly in the first game, I mean, New Orleans clearly got jobbed to the point where people are referencing the rule in the NFL rule book about how Roger Goodell could make them replay the game or whatever. And then
you can't do that, obviously.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I agree. I don't think that
it's human
you
error.
can do that with the very first thing.
Yeah.
I do think, and the idea that I heard that I really liked that I'd never heard before, is a guy said, look, why don't they put a ref quality control guy in the booth?
Someone in the booth,
so if there's such an egregious error, like they called a face mask, but the guy never actually touched his face mask.
Didn't hit his face.
Or if a guy never looks back for the ball and annihilates the guy, and it's head to head, and the ball's still not there, then it's actually interference. So I didn't mind that, but boy, that's 2 years in a row that New Orleans had a chance and maybe had the best team in the league, and they're not going to get a chance to play.
Look, and there's obviously a lot of validity to that. You know, I don't like to say it all comes down to that one play, but that's a big play in the game. There were others, right, that, look, could New Orleans done this, done that? I mean, that's part, human error, unfortunately, is part of the game. Now, here's the crazy thing.
From, by the way, a side judge and a back judge who both live in L.A.
In L.A., that's what I was getting. And by the way, one guy's coming in trying to call it, and the line judge right there is like, no, don't call it. He's like, what?
Right?
Are you crazy?
So, I mean,
unbelievable.
When the integrity of the league is at stake, Roger Goodell has to something has to happen. And Sean Payton's on the competition committee, and he said that he's going to bring up the fact that maybe some interference like that should be reviewable.
I think Belichick said it too during the week. He's like, look, I think every big play that should be reviewable, even before the weekend of the game.
Before it started.
He's like, look, I think they should be. It makes sense. Like, that could be an easy fix. All
it
right,
seems
that
like
looks
they have
shaky.
the technology.
Let's look
Go
at
ahead
it.
and take a look at it.
That's a big big play in the game.
That's the kind of
thing.
thing.
Should be reviewable.
I mean, think about it. The league has already stepped in that direction.
Yep.
Under 2 minutes,
right?
Everything's reviewed in the booth without anybody challenging.
No, right.
All right,
right.
It's a booth review.
No doubt. What about OT, man? Do you think each side should get a shot?
You know, I used to think that this was a pretty good rule where if you scored a touchdown or a safety, the game was over.
It's over.
But now that the league has emphasized offense so much, if you're going to make it such an offensive league, and they've changed the rules to do that, I don't think anybody denies that.
No, they don't. They can't.
They've changed the rules to make it more of an offensive league.
Right.
If you're going to do that, then why shouldn't Pat Mahomes have a chance to score a touchdown? Obviously, Chiefs had a chance to stop them, and they didn't.
Right.
But it does seem like the way the league is set up now. 10 years ago, I like this rule.
Right.
But the way the league is set up now, now all of a sudden, I think with offense being stressed and the rules being changed so much that both teams should have a chance to get the football.
You know, it's funny, before we go to break, you know, I was at 2 different parties for the Pats in the past 2 weeks.
Right.
Nobody likes Brady in the Pats. I'm sitting there by myself like, man, I love the guy. He comes to play every single time, cares about playing. If there's one guy in the league that could be like, yeah, whatever, you know, I got it made. It's him, but he doesn't. And, you know, it's amazing. So it was funny in the championship game, Chiefs score, everyone's going nuts except me. I'm standing there and they're like, aren't you worried? I'm like, no, there's 2 minutes left. What are you talking about? We've seen this before.
Exactly.
It was unbelievable. I love that part of the
even my wife said, at least Brady does it to everybody, not just the Jaguars.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you know, when you look at what he's capable of doing, I wrote about this last week in the Times Union and on my website at samsportsline.com that, you know, Fred Taylor and Kyle Brady ended their careers in New England.
That's right.
And I said, what's that like to play up there? And they said the level of precision and professionalism is another step up from everywhere else. And they said it flows from Belichick to Brady to the rest of the leaders on the team. Kyle said he went up there 13th year, final year of his career. He said they got all these veteran players there. They had just won 3 AFC championships and like 2 Super Bowls. He said, I expect them to rest on their laurels. Never seen a group of guys more dedicated.
And held accountable to it, no doubt about it.
And look, I mean, it's one thing to have an idea and to have a culture. Right. But you got to go execute
Implement, baby.
And Brady's able to do that.
That's right. All right, we're going to take a time out here with Sammy Kvarts. Donovan Darius is joining us next right here on The Horse's Mouth. We're at Tommy Max. We're on Buzz TV. We'll be right back.
Big event or party at your home or business? The Jacksonville Party Company. Stress-free, flawless, and memorable. Whether it's for children, a retirement, a wedding, or other social or professional activity, it's stress-free, flawless, and memorable when you involve the Jacksonville Party Company. Contact them today to get your event launched at jacksonvillepartycompany.com.
All right, welcome back to The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. And, of course, at Tommy Mac, Sammy Kvarts is here, and Double D, Donovan Darius, number 20, back on the show. How you doing, Double D?
I'm doing well,
Great to see you, man.
Thank you, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, man. Doing well.
Getting ready for the Super Bowl 53. Yes. You know, every time the AFC Championship game ends and I see the team celebrate, the victor celebrate, I think, gosh, that must be a great feeling because we were so close, right?
That could have been us. Listen,
so
I tell people all the time. I'll never forget going back into the locker room after the AFC Championship game and seeing all the lights all over the place just in case we won.
In case we won, right?
You know, seeing the frustration of guys throwing the chairs and just realizing that we were that close.
Yeah, and you never get it back.
I was going to say, it's bad when they roll the coolers out of your locker room.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and you're trying to get in and they roll it out.
What do they do with all the T-shirts? Yeah. Think about that in a hat.
Give them away. Goodwill.
They sent them to
send them to, I don't know.
They do. They send them to Central America.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey, can I ask you a question? I know it's your show. Could you guys, both of you guys, in your careers, played the game very differently than it's played now? Could you have played? Can you play that game that they're now asking to play now?
I think so. Now, granted, if they were in nickel, I'm probably coming out. Right. So they'd have to be in the base defense still. But yeah, I think in a base defense, I could hang for the most part.
And I think as a professional, you come into the league, you understand they're always going to change the rules one way or the other. So you actually have to adapt to it. And I think it takes time to adapt to what they're expecting so you can, at the end of the day, get the results.
Right, because the game is now coached differently than, I mean, I can remember.
Well, the rules are different,
and the rules
especially for guys like us.
So
like
as players kind of progress,
stuff.
Players are going to have to adapt to a very different kind of football.
Well, I mean, you think about the quarterback rule now. I mean, it's very hard to even touch the quarterback,
right?
Let alone be around him without anticipating the flag.
Yeah, I mean, these receivers running, freely in the zone, Double D. I mean, they don't belong there.
That's why
they're supposed to get knocked down.
I continuously thank God that I played at the era I did, where you can intentionally, inflict punishment for a person coming into your zone.
That's right.
You can do it legally. That's the thing. You can do it legally with right technique, but it also intimidates them from being able to just come in there, which adds to an advantage on what you do on game day.
No doubt about it. No doubt. Well, the Super Bowl is forthcoming. Sammy, one of the big things you do up there is you vote for the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Tony Baselli up again, top 50. I really think he gets in this year. I think this is his year to get in.
It's it's the most difficult Hall of Fame to get into. It starts with over 100 guys, and then we're asked to pare it down to 25, and then 15 by email. And then those 15 get what they call in the room, and we talk about all 15 guys. And this year, once again, there are 3 guys who potentially are first ballot Hall of Famers. So they only allow us to elect 5 guys.
Right.
So if 3 spots are already taken. That's 2 spots for 13 for 12 guys.
It's tough.
It's pretty tough. And there's 4 offensive linemen on the ballot. So while it's my job to present Tony's case, it's not my job to argue for Tony.
Right.
It's
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's not a competition.
You're presenting him.
I'm presenting him. And what's interesting is that you could say every year, look, these guys aren't going to change. Their careers are over.
Right.
The stats are the same.
Right.
And if you get into the room, as they say, you have about an 89% chance of eventually getting into the Hall.
Oh, wow.
So just getting into the room is a very big deal to get to that final 15.
I'd love to see, along with the voters, former players that played against that player and say why they should be in the Hall of Fame, or maybe even shouldn't be.
And that's part of my job.
Yeah, right. Get it out of them.
I've talked to John Randall and Walter Jones.
What do they say, Sam?
Well, John Randall said Tony's the best he ever played against, and Tony says that Randall was the most difficult guy. He said if it was a heavyweight fight, it would always have been a draw.
Wow.
And Randall talked about his balletic feet, but most importantly, and I talked to Gary Zimmerman, who's in the Hall of Fame, who's the other tackle on the 1990 All-Decade team, by the way.
That's right.
And he said Tony had flowing feet, and both Randall and Gary Zimmerman said the same thing, said he had incredible patience, and that's what makes tackles great, because you can do whatever you want out there in front of them.
That's right.
But once they engage you, they're just basically waiting for you.
Yeah.
And Walter Jones, by the way, who's in the Hall, first ballot Hall of Famer, played 181 games, started 181 games, only left the league because he had microfracture surgery, played at Florida State, obviously, for a couple of years. He said he wore 71 because Baselli wore 71.
Wow.
That's 2 Hall of Famers. I mean,
he said, I wanted to be Tony Baselli. I wanted to be the cornerstone of Seattle like Tony was the cornerstone left tackle.
Yeah, and I think he was. I mean, I'm not saying it's just biased because he was on our team, but even when you go against other teams and you see, like you mentioned, the patience that he has, but then there's also his ability just to protect Mark. I mean, that was amazing. I mean, we went up to Super Bowl to the Hall of Fame every year. And talking to those guys that did make it in after several years, asked them, what is the hardest part? They said, just the waiting.
Yeah.
Just to know that you're bringing your family there. Think about it. You prepared the speech. You did everything you can. You brought your family there. And they still don't call your name. And you can imagine every year going back.
What's gotten worse.
Tough.
It used to be the meeting started at 7. They served a continental breakfast, and the announcement was at noon. Now the meeting starts at 7. They serve 2 full meals, and the announcement is the announcement.
It's like Dragon. It's like a Monday night
football. The announcement's at a TV show. And Gary Zimmerman said, they wanted me to come and wait in the room, wait for the secret knock and all that. He said, I went water skiing.
Yeah,
exactly.
I would have to do some. All right, hang in there. I want to get in about the foundation. You're doing some great things out there in the Jacksonville community and beyond. More to come right here on the Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV. We'll be right back. right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. We're at Tommy Max with Sammy Kavaris, Double D, Donovan Darius, and David Hopper joins us, CEO of Audit Max, right here on Buzz TV. David, how are you, man? Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you, and you're here with two legends, literally.
Yes, sir.
Double D and Sam Kavaris, no doubt about it. Double D, Foundation's a big part of your life. You got lots going on. Why don't you tell the viewers what the latest is, man?
Well, I mean, here's one of the things, man. I knew that football was what I did. It wasn't who I was.
Yep.
And so I understood that once my time in the league got done, I wanted to come back to Jacksonville and try to put on events that will allow people to get the information that they need and be able to take their lives to the next level. So we host life camps down at the stadium area for fathers, for mothers, for children, for everything from building up character development, leadership skills, life skills. And then we also bring a lot of organizations in that provide services, so that way we can kind of be the bridge, if you will, between those organizations and the families that we serve. So at the end of the day, my foundation is not about me. It is about the people that we serve and how can we help them take their lives to the next level.
I tell you, when you live in Jacksonville, you feel that kind of love around town. You know, every charity event I've been to, it seems packed. I swear, it seems like people answer the bell, right? They're helping the community. You're helping the community. You're helping people. I mean, you've been here longer than anybody.
I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for that.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
You're exactly right.
David, you've been in business how long now with Audit Max?
Going on 16 years now. Yeah.
First of all, congratulations. That's fantastic. What got you involved? How'd you get it started?
Well, I had a career in technology, and after a fairly extensive career in technology, helping enterprise companies, manage their technology, voice data, internet, those types of services.
Okay.
Always wanted to be a business owner, and finally took the plunge again almost 16 years ago, and just in an effort to really help companies manage their communications, their networks, et cetera. And it started out where we were doing a lot of sub-auditing, which the name Audit Max comes from, and saving companies lots of money on their technology, their voice data, mobile, all those services. And then what it evolved to with working with these companies is they'd like the savings, obviously, but then they're like, we have struggle managing our tablets, our iPads, our phones, our networks, our cloud services, all these things. So that launched a managed services division of the company. So now we not only do all the auditing we've always done, and clients, again, they like the savings, but now we actually manage and provide all those services to all of the end user support, all those things. So expanded it out over a very short 15 years now.
I got a whole new client list for you.
Yeah.
Grandparents.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because grandparents just wait around for their grandchildren to show up to fix all their technology.
Yeah, that's right.
Would you fix my iPad?
No doubt about it. Show them the way.
It's funny. There is something to that. I mean, our staff's pretty. We've got around 75 employees and pretty diverse, pretty wide range. And it does seem like there's something to the younger generation when you're fixing, because we have some pretty advanced diagnostic tools and things for doing repairs and all that, and the younger generation just gets it so much faster than older guys like myself do.
So we love entrepreneurs on this show. We're all entrepreneurs to a certain degree. You've done it for a long time. What's your philosophy to success? Like, what would your employees say about you, do you think, and how you run your company?
Well, it's kind of funny. We're always trying to ask that question, like, just what our employees think and our clients think match what we think, and sometimes you learn some hard lessons where maybe they don't. So we're a pretty open, transparent company. But what we like for them to think and what we try to strive for is that they see a company that really cares about their success. And in Jacksonville, we've got probably half of everybody with their name on a building is a long-term client of Audit Max.
Great.
And we've got testimonials from a lot of these CEOs and stuff saying those things. But we're always trying to innovate. I mean, as soon as you figure it out today, it changes tomorrow. So you have to stay on top of it.
Could you withstand a 360, as they say now? Where somebody comes in and asks all your employees about what you're up to.
We have actually, I don't know if you knew this gentleman, actually, Hal Resnick. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
He was our executive coach, and he actually did a 360 for us maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it was really fascinating.
Undercover Boss has got you written all over it, Dave.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? We can dress you up and see what the deal is.
People have this impression sometimes, entrepreneurs and egos and all that, but you quickly, if you do it more than, a day, you quickly can get humbled pretty quickly. Yeah. So you have to have a pretty open mind when it comes to the 360s and the feedback.
I mean, how many places have we worked where the management couldn't withstand a 360.
No, right,
I mean,
absolutely.
for 10 seconds, they wouldn't be able to stand it.
Before we go to break, I always thought, like with football, in the NFL, you're in business for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you really are. Granted, it's a different kind of business, but it's you. You're the entity. Yeah. And you're playing for this organization, and you got to make sure that you're doing everything you can to stay in that organization.
Well, I mean, like you said in the beginning, I mean, we're all entrepreneurs in our own space, and really at the end of the day, what that means is that you're taking your gifts and your talents and you're deciding to pour them out. And so the way I do that is by serving my gifts of speaking, encouraging, training, keynotes, messaging, whether it be on social media or in front of boardrooms or consulting, whatever it may be. And so to be able to manage those things is one thing, but also to be able to live out the passion doesn't seem like work at all.
Got to walk the walk.
If
you walk the walk and it's genuine, you can talk any kind of talk you want.
Well, I mean,
I believe it.
My 40-year career in sports, I saw literally what didn't work and what did work. So often, so much like Donovan, when I get a chance to speak to management groups about, hey, this is what works, because over these 40 years, you see the common thread of what it takes to be successful. And certainly one of the true common threads is you got to work at it.
And look, we're talking Super Bowl II. You look at the Patriots. How do they do it? Year after year after year. The stats on Brady, 16 playoff appearances, 10 straight or 9 straight AFC championship games? I mean, that doesn't happen by luck. That happens because the top all the way to the bottoms, all on the same page. They all believe it. They all walk it. They all talk it. That's hard to do. It's hard to do in a company, but they find a way to get it done. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's every business we work with, we think we're so unique as a company sometimes, and you talk to all these entrepreneurs, and again, our clientele is typically the larger, because that's who needs our services, the larger enterprise, the $1 billion companies and up or whatever, and you start talking to them, and they have the same problems we have. We all think we're super unique, and we're all trying to solve the same problems, trying to get back to the community. We're all trying to do all the same things. So, interesting.
And evolving, right? I mean, you got to stay on top of the game, too. Just like any of us.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of industries, pharmaceuticals, logistics, financial, whatever, they're all evolving. Technology, I think, is a class of its own. Technology is like accelerated, 5x times the typical. So every CIO out there is looking for, within their ecosystems of their systems, they're looking for amplifiers and things that can give them a multiplier kind of effect on their investments. And the field of that gets complex really quick. If you start looking at some initiative you're trying to do, all of a sudden it's like, well, who's good at that? These 200 companies. What do you do with that? So it gets complicated really quick, and then you start saying, well, how does that integrate with our other 2,000 things we're doing? And all of a sudden you have a 3-year project, and a decision is never even made because of the complexity of it. So it's an interesting challenge. It's changing, to your point. If you're not reinventing yourself, innovating constantly, you're gone.
Well, I'll tell you what, the NFL's got to implement some technology, Double D. Especially some more review. We were talking earlier, there's critical plays where they can just review it. They got the technology. It wouldn't take that long. Just take a look at it, make sure that everything's, cool. And
I try my best. I try my best not to get frustrated because I don't have a dog in a hunt. But at the end of the day, doing what you did for as long as you did, it's just, some things are just common sense. It's common sense.
Yeah, they're pretty blatant, but
why do they not do that? I'm just curious. I've never heard that idea. That's a great idea. Why do they not do that?
They're going to have to. I think they're going to have to. I think especially after this past the championship weekends, right? There were too many critical plays that could have went the other for the other team could have won. I mean, that's just the fact. So I think they have to, David. They have to come up with something where that. And I also think, and this isn't technological, but each side should get a shot at overtime. And you're like you were saying, the offense is set up to score, so you got to give
the way the game is now played
a chance.
The league has to decide, because they fight this constant battle, to get it right, and to fit the game into a 3.5 hour window. And so if you're reviewing every other play, it's a 4.5 hour game, and the league kind of fights that. They want to make sure they get it right. I'm kind of surprised that the league hasn't had a lot of official things. Maybe Roger Goodell say something.
I think it's coming. Fellas, hang in there. We'll be right back. More to come on The Horse's Mouth, live from Tommy Max and right here on Buzz TV. And let me tell you about my friend Craig O'Neill. He's the official photographer here at Buzz Media. He specializes in commercial photography for all those kind of needs. Check him out online at CraigO'NeillPhotography.com. And if you're lucky, you get a sweet lid like I have. Brought to you by All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth with Sam Kavars, Double D, and David Hopper from Audit Max. All right, guys, time for last call, which means your final thought of the show, Sammy. You go first.
With both of these guys on, my final thought is there's a big difference between leadership and management. Mm-hmm. And leadership is where people should be looking. Not just anybody can manage. Anybody can look at schedules and write stuff down and sit in their office. Leadership is truly something that guides people, like you were saying, to their best self, and like you were saying, as an entrepreneur, to get the most out of people around them. Donovan, make them the best version of them.
It's interesting you say leadership, because I was thinking the same thing. I mean, nothing changes, nothing happens, improves, nothing moves without leadership. Yep. And within leadership, you're not looking to create you're not looking to create followers. You're looking to create other leaders. Yep. Individuals that understand that, you know what, leaders make things happen. Leaders don't wait. Right. Leaders understand it's their responsibility to build up, to continue to build up what it is they're doing and lead by example. I always say, I'd rather have a tour guide than a travel agent. A tour guide will go with you. A travel agent will tell you where to go. And so as a great leader, you want to have the tour guide.
If you want to borrow that, you got to go through me, but we'll work something out.
Little trademark, I like that.
Yeah, Dave, how about you?
That's good points. I mean, I would say on the leadership front, the balance of having enough time when you're growing a big company to invest in your people, to do the leadership and mentoring and all those things. Our approach is really simple. I mean, we're trying to be likable and create value. If you can do those things, you can be the biggest company on the planet, because most people literally just fail miserably at that. So it's value creation and likability. But you still got to have the time and the balance to work with your people to develop that. It doesn't happen naturally, because people are more task oriented sometimes. Yep, sure. It's all about the blocking and tackling, keeping the lights on. So
great. So good stuff. I will say this about leadership: it starts in the mirror. Got to look in the mirror, because no one's going to follow you if you're not doing that yourself. And it's genuine words backed up by genuine action. Be genuine, and they'll follow. That'll do it for us right here on the Horse's Mouth. Hey, Jacksonville, believe, create, hustle, and never give up. Make sure you stay cool and be safe. We'll see you next time right here on the Horse's Mouth.